Hey guys, I am doing this as a live webinar, so I'm going to wait just a minute so that way any viewers can come in. If you are watching this on the blog post a week after I film this, then I'm sorry, you can skip ahead a couple of minutes here. Okay, I think some of you guys are watching me on Crowdcast and some of you are on Google Plus. So I'm going to keep the chat boxes open. So if you guys want to chat on there, I'll kind of keep an eye on both. Quite a few of you guys are on Google Hangouts, so that's good. I just started using Crowdcast and I'm not sure about it yet. So you guys let me know which one you like more. Okay. There's a few of you here now, so I guess I will get started. So my name is Nora Conrad from noraconrad.com, and I'm going to go over how to create a mini business plan. Unless you are applying for some sort of loan, you don't necessarily need a business plan. The whole point of a business plan is to let the people who are going to be investing in your plan know about your idea and see if it's a good investment. However, I think that if you are starting a business, you should have a business plan. Whether you are investing your own money or someone else's money, having a business plan gets all of your ideas and all of your goals down onto paper or onto your computer. So that way you can kind of track how you do. You can go back to it. You can stay consistent and stick to a brand rather than just kind of going with the flow. While it is good to kind of let your business evolve into what you want it to be, you also need to have some sort of idea of where you want to go. So basically, I created a mini business plan. It doesn't have all of the financial stuff and all of the data that you need in a normal business plan, but it will still give you enough information to help kind of keep you on track and keep you focused. So this business plan has 7 parts. Ooh, there's a dog hair in my eye. It has 7 parts, so I'm just going to go through it one by one and kind of give you the sections and what you should write into each of them. So let's get started. The first section that you want to start off with in your business plan is the overview. This is going to be the section that you should look at every single day. It should be the section that keeps you focused and keeps you like on the right track for your business. So in the overview section, you want to have a mission statement. And a mission statement can be a couple of different things. If you look it up on Pinterest, there's about 100 articles telling you different things that your mission statement should be. Really, it should just be what your business is in the simplest way possible. If a total stranger came up to you, had no idea about your business, what you told them that you do is your mission statement. So it should be kind of your elevator pitch, or if you have like a slogan, that's kind of what the mission statement is. To give you an example, a crappy mission statement, if someone said to me, so what do you do for a job? I wouldn't want to say that I'm a blogger or that I blog about business online, because blogging kind of has a negative connotation, even though all businesses pretty much do it now. Your mission statement should be something extremely descriptive, something that immediately tells them who you are and what you do without them having to know a background in the industry. So something like, here, I'll give you mine. So I'm Nora Conrad. I am a business marketing and productivity consultant. I also have articles on my website to help small business owners and freelancers get the guides and tools they need to grow their business. So that's short. It's not going to make them fall asleep, but it tells them exactly what you're going to do. So that should be the first thing on your business plan. It will help keep you focused. It'll keep your mind on what is actually important to you and kind of keep you on track. The second piece that should be in your overview section is your why. Your why is why you started your business, but it's a little deeper than that. Why you started your business shouldn't just be that you want to help people or that you want to make extra money. Your why is why you started that business. Because you could make money doing anything. You can help people in a million ways. So your why should be very descriptive to your business. If you're a wedding planner, your why might be something like you want to help brides have their dream wedding because you dreamed about your wedding since you were a kid and you wanted it to be perfect, so you want to help them have a perfect wedding too. That would be a more descriptive why, and that's what you should try to aim for. So kind of dig deep. It seems a little weird, but try to figure out exactly why you're starting the business that you're starting. And if you can't figure it out, you might want to seriously consider going into something else. Because if you don't know why you're starting it, you probably won't be very passionate about it. Okay, so once you have the overview done, you can kind of add in other stuff into there if you want. If you want to add your slogan, you can. But I'm going to go on to number 2, which is your goals. A lot of people put this kind of towards the bottom of a business plan. I think it should probably be at the top because your goals are what's going to keep you going, and it's kind of the reason why you're starting your business as well. So I break my business plan up into 3 goals: your 6-month, your year, and your 5 years. So you want to kind of give it a timeline so that way you have a specific time that you want to reach those goals. Any kind of goals that you should create in everyday life or in your business should be very specific, time sensitive, and measurable. So something like saying I want 200 Twitter followers by August 1st. That is a very specific goal. Once you hit August 1st, you know if you met it or not, and you can measure that as you go. So all of your goals should look like that. Your business goals in this section can be anything from the number of followers on social media, to your traffic, to how much money you make, to how happy you want to be. So anything that is one of your goals in your business should be in this section. This section can be 4 pages long if you want it to be, or it can be a couple of sentences. It's really up to you and what kind of goals you want to meet in your business. But this will probably be your most descriptive and biggest section. Okay, so on to number 3, your customers. All of these sections are important, but this one is probably the biggest. You don't have a business unless you have customers. If you're not selling things, you aren't making money. So your customers should be the focus of your business plan. So the start of this section should start off with who your ideal customer is. If you are a wedding planner, I'm just going to keep using this example because it's kind of easy. Your ideal customer might be someone who's in their young to mid-20s who is recently engaged and makes $50,000 to $100,000 a year and needs help with their wedding planning. You can get even more specific into that depending on your personality, but you need to know exactly who you're marketing to. There's no way that you can market to everyone. Even Apple, who might seem like they market to everyone, has a very specific market that they're aiming at. So you need to figure out who your ideal customer is and get that written down. You can even create a fake profile. So make up a person and say what they look like, what they love, what their hobbies are, where they shop, what they want to buy, what their interests are. Make a made up person and make that your target customer. Find people as similar to your imaginary customer as you can, and that is your ideal client. So the next part to the customer section is where and how you will find them. Depending on who your customer is, you're going to find those people in different places. So for example, if your customers are elderly people, you probably don't want to market on Twitter because Twitter's more of a younger generation. Or if you maybe sell fitness equipment, you'll want to be on something like Facebook and Twitter or even Instagram where there's a huge fitness community. Once you know who your ideal customer is, you can start looking at where you want to market. And then the third part of this section is how will you sell to them? How you sell completely goes with where you're going to find your customers. So there's a lot of fitness gurus on Instagram that sell their products on Instagram. And while I don't think that's a great idea to like sell directly on someone else's network, they know that that's where their target customers are, so that's where they sell. You can also figure out how you're going to sell, as in how you're going to market. So if you want to use Facebook ads, but your ideal client isn't never on Facebook, that's not going to be a great idea for you. So once you have your ideal customer, all of that will be much easier to fill out. Okay, so on to number 4, which is your products and your services. You want to, as you fill this out, keep your customer in mind. That's why that was one of the first sections that you fill out. Because as you are writing your product descriptions, deciding on your prices and your materials and your process, you need to have your ideal customer in mind. So number 4, you want to start off listing all of your products. If you already have products, this will be easy. Just list what you have, list the description of it, and list how much you're selling it for. If you are just starting a business, this is where you're going to have to do a lot of planning, and this section might get pretty long. So just start off with the name of your product or service, give it a description, what you are selling, how you're going to sell it, and then give it a price. Another thing that you might want to include in this section is any materials that you need. So if you make earrings, you are going to need earring studs and jewels and glue and all that good stuff. So it's a good idea to list out the materials that you'll need in this section. Or if you're selling a service, you might want to list the tools that you're going to need. So if you need a professional email address or a Skype account, put that stuff in this section as well. Another piece that you should put into the product and service section is where you're going to sell. So if you're going to sell jewelry, you might want to sell on Etsy. If you're selling books, you're going to want to get on Amazon and Nook. If you are selling like a certain product or a service, you're going to want to sell on your own website. So make sure that you list all of that information, you have an idea of that while you're filling the section out. Okay, number 5 is your process. This section is going to be completely different for everyone because everyone has a different product or service. So your process is basically a step-by-step list of how you make your product or how you sell your service. So for an example, I am a consultant. So my process would look like a workflow. So first the customer emails me and I send them a price list. Then we have a Skype conversation and get to know each other. Then I send them a contract, then an invoice. So that's what my process would look like. Where someone who's selling earrings, their process will look like buying materials, putting everything together, taking photographs of the product and listing it on the site, shipping it. So your process is going to look different, and your process might have 100 steps in it if you are selling a service that's really in-depth. But it's a really good idea to write that down or put it into some kind of digital context. So that way, when you have a new customer or you have to start making your products, you have steps that you need to complete to do that. And I actually use Asana. I have a blog post about how to use that, and I have all of my processes listed in Asana. So I'll link to that down below or in the chat box if you're watching this live. Okay, so in process, you also want to create a timeline. So if you make earrings and it takes you an hour to make a pair of earrings, I don't know how long that takes. You want to make a timeline. How long will it take for you to buy supplies? How long will it take for those supplies to be shipped to you? How long will it take for you to actually put them together? How long does shipping take? You need to have an idea of how much time you're going to be spending on these things. And if you write out your process and you realize you're spending a lot more time than you thought you were, you might want to go back into your product and service section and change your prices. Okay, so on to number 6, your marketing and your sales. This is extremely important to relate back to your customers again, because how you market and sell is completely relying on who your ideal client is. So I know that there's a ton of different suggestions on this, but if you are wanting to get on social media, I think that focusing on 2 social media channels is the best way to go about this. So my 2 focuses are Twitter and Instagram. Those are the places that I post most. That's where I always am. That's where I talk to the most people. And then you want to pick another 2 channels that you post on fairly regularly, but somewhere that you're not really that focused. So for me, that's Pinterest and Facebook. And then any other channels that you want to be on, you can, but you should just automate that. So I use IFTTT, if this then that.com, to automate all of that stuff. So if I post a blog post on Twitter or Instagram, it will automatically post to Google Plus for me. Because I want my viewers on Google Plus to be able to get that same content, but I'm not interested in focusing all my time there. So I'm still posting things, but I'm not wasting time going after a network that I don't really need to go after. So keep that in mind with your marketing. Focus on 2 places that you know your customers are and put a lot of your time into those places, building your brand, talking to people, and building a network. Okay, along with marketing and sales is ads. I know that a lot of people don't use ads, and I know some of you use ads all the time and swear by them. One of the best things I've heard of are Facebook ads. People who put a lot of money into Facebook ads usually see a lot of success. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. But just keep that in mind when you're marketing and selling. If you are on Facebook and Facebook is where your target audience is, you might want to seriously consider that. Also on Pinterest. Pinterest ads I've actually used. You can set them at extremely low prices and they basically just bump your pin up towards the top of people's feeds that see similar things. So just look into that. If there's ads available on the network that you're on, it's worth putting a couple dollars in just to test it out. And if you hate it and it doesn't work for you, that's fine. But most of the time, just doing a small ad will actually help your business. Just keep it genuine and not too salesy, and you'll be totally fine. Okay, number 7. This may or may not be your longest section. It might also be your shortest section, depending on your needs. So number 7 is finance. If you are just starting out, this section is going to need to be pretty detailed, especially if you're not sure how you're going to pay to start your business. If you already have your business established, your finance section might just say, I'm going to use my sales money to pay for the business. It's really going to depend on where you're at in your business right now. So in your finance section, if you need any kind of loans or investments from friends or family or even investments from your own pocket, you want to write all of that out. You need to figure out exactly how much you're going to need to start your business and to keep it going. You also want to make a list of all of the expenses that you're going to need to get things going or keep things going. So things like your domain name, your website hosting, any Etsy, PayPal, Stripe fees, there we go. Any costs of equipment or materials or things like that. If you need to buy a laptop or a computer that's powerful enough to run certain applications, or if you need to buy software, or even if you need some pens and notebooks, write all of those expenses down. It's extremely easy, especially when we're paying out of our own pockets, to spend more on our business than we meant to. I know that when I first got started, I was selling earrings on Etsy, and I spent hundreds of dollars on materials that are just sitting in my closet. So if you have a plan, you won't be throwing money down the drain, and you'll be able to kind of keep focused on the things that you really need to be spending your money on. If you are needing some sort of loan from a bank, this type of business plan is not going to be what you want to give the bank. You're going to need an actual business plan with a business template showing all of your plans. the whole idea of this mini business plan is for you. So a huge part of this is keeping it updated and looking at it regularly. Once you write all of this stuff out, put it on your wall over your desk, or have it automatically emailed to you, or keep it on a calendar, or set a reminder to look at it every week. Keeping an eye on your goals, on your financials, and constantly reminding yourself of who your ideal customer is going to help your business way more than any tools or resources or software that you're going to buy. Just having an idea of what you want to do is going to help you actually do that. Okay, so that was the plan. If you're watching this on the blog post, you can stop here. If you are watching this live, if you guys have any questions, start asking. I'm going to open the chat box if I can figure out how to do that. There we go. You can ask me any questions. You can tweet at me, email me, whatever. I'll leave this up for about 5 minutes and answer some of your questions. And other than that, you guys have a good day. All right. And I'm getting Twitter notifications. Let's see. Whoa. It opened my own webinar on my phone. Okay, so Lisa asked, how do you find your ideal client? Okay, so I will link to a worksheet. I think it was by Regina.com. She made an entire blog post about finding your ideal customer and how to figure out who that is. So I will pull that up and put that into the chat box, so that way you guys can kind of see that. She just hit the nail on the head with it, so for me to kind of try to live up to that is just silly because she did it perfectly. And I will find that link for you guys right now. Let's see. Okay, so her blog post is for an ideal reader profile. But it is basically the same idea. Whoever you want, the types of people that you want reading your blog are going to be the same type of people that you want buying your product. And I should mention with this that finding out who your ideal customer is and targeting those customers is not really the same as finding a niche, or a niche, however you guys say it. If I was a wedding planner, my niche would be weddings. But that's not who my ideal customer is. I'm not going to target everyone who needs a wedding because that wouldn't work for my business. And that's so big of a target market that you can't reach everyone that you need to. So keep that in mind. You might know exactly what your niche is, but you need to figure out who your customer is. And don't be worried or sad or hurt if someone is not your ideal customer. So if you have a bunch of newsletter subscribers and people are unsubscribing, don't worry about it, because those people aren't going to be the people who want to buy from you. Those people just don't match up with the kind of person that you're trying to sell to. So it's not a bad thing to be losing followers or having people unsubscribe or not read your blog, because those people aren't the kind of customers that you're looking for. So pay attention to who's following you. Pay attention to who's commenting on your blogs, who's emailing you questions. Those people are the people who are interested in what you're doing. So find those people and find those commonalities in those people, and you'll have your ideal customer. Okay, so there's some people leaving and you guys aren't asking any other questions. So if you have any questions, tell me right now. Other than that, I will probably end this. All right, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching, you guys. If you have any other questions and you didn't get the chance to ask, you can email me, hello@noraconrad.com, or just tweet at me at Nora Blosser, and I'll help you guys out. Yeah, so that's everything. You guys have a good night, and I will see you later. Bye.